Welcome to Sex at 10. I'm Rebecca Rosenblat, certified relationship and sexuality therapist and your host, here to answer your questions on all things intimate. Whether you're stuck in a relationship dilemma, have issues with your body, trust, trauma, addiction, or orientation, or just need a little help with turning up the heat in your bedroom, give us a shout at 1-800-968-7836 and let's chat. Everything's fair game. If you've thought about it, we can talk about it. Let's begin with a discussion on sensual eating and aphrodisiacs. And to help me with that, we're being joined by an expert in the area, Emanuela Fernandes. Emanuela is a Toronto-based food journalist and blogger specializing in aphrodisiacs and sensuality. She believes in sensual eating. As such, her blog features many recipes utilizing aphrodisiacs. So we're indeed very excited to have her joining us tonight to kickstart our year with a forgotten art, guaranteed to add magic to our lives in a rushed world where we eat on the run while connecting with our smartphones versus each other. Good evening and welcome. It's so exciting to have you joining us tonight. We've been waiting for this.
Good evening, Rebecca. It's really great to be here. Thank you for having me. You know, I'm such a big fan of your show. It's like a privilege to be here.
And you've done shows of your own, and I've been a big fan of yours. So it's a bit of a reunion,
a
sexy reunion. We're going to have some sexy times.
Absolutely. I'm so looking forward to that. It's going to be a great time.
Thank you for joining us. Food has always been such a central part of dating, mating, celebrating. Yet outside of going out to dinner, most people have stopped paying attention to that nowadays, i.e. making it a sensual experience that can be shared together. So naturally, I'm very excited that you'll be helping us get that back. So can you begin by discussing your philosophy behind sensual eating?
Well, I think that a lot of people don't really understand how much sex and food are interconnected and how much they're alike, because one of the similarities is the fact that those are the only two forms of art that involve all five of our senses. So our sense of sight, our sense of hearing, our sense of smell, our sense of taste, and when we are rushing through things, we don't really have time to really get them all tuned in, and it applies.
And pay attention to them.
Exactly, and sometimes we don't really pay attention to our partner as well as we should be, and we don't really pay attention to our food as well as we should be. So when we don't do that, I think our lives are really robbed of that sensual aspect that we all should have. And I believe that we all should really just go back and to reclaim that. And once we do that, our lives really will be filled with those pleasurable delights that are so easy to access. And we're not only talking about aphrodisiac food, it's really just any food that is in front of you can be enjoyed with every fiber of your being. You really can taste it with all of your sensory receptors.
Absolutely.
And I think it is so important. So it's not only just ingesting it, like you said, with
rushing.
That's right. And the truth is, life is very busy, especially to those of us who live in the city. We're constantly rushing. We're constantly stuck in traffic. We're constantly go. So once we actually put a conscious effort, become very mindful of the way we eat, when we sit down, what it tastes like, what it smells like, when we're cooking, is there a star ingredient that we would like to focus on? How do we bring it out? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? Before we even start to eat.
Bursts in our mouth, yeah.
That's right. And I think once we do that, again, our life is going to become so much more filled with that sensuality that I think all of us crave deep down inside. So
absolutely. And I think you're right that food and sex are so similar in so many ways. People are into fast food, people are into quickies, and we don't take the time to savor every single one of those senses. And a lot of mindfulness is a big thing nowadays, and they say food is a great place to start, where you absolutely savor every bite. You experience it as it bursts in your mouth. Absolutely. And the textures, the smells, the colors, and just having fun with it and playing with it. So it is indeed very similar to sex. Viewers, if you'd like to join our discussion, we'd love for you to call in right away. I teach a course on the art of erotic talk, and one of the ways I coach people to start building their vocabulary is by using food words as in succulent, juicy, tasty, or for that matter, sucking, nibbling, slurping, swallowing, a language that's so rich in sensuality and, of course, innuendo. And we're not even talking about anything directly related to sexuality, which is a class unto itself, aka aphrodisiacs. So let's go there next by having you share a list of top aphrodisiacs. What are they? How do they work? How we can incorporate them into our diets, and so on. I know you brought a list of 7 amazing aphrodisiacs, so let's get into that.
Well, first of all, I want to mention that I don't believe in aphrodisiacs that are inaccessible to us. And a lot of people think, you know, when they think of aphrodisiac, they think of something extremely exotic
and rare.
For example, they will think saffron, which is the world's most expensive spice, and we don't necessarily have that in our pantry, so we really have to go out of our ways to get that. So I believe in aphrodisiacs that are easy to get, that maybe we already have in our pantries, but we just really don't know the magic behind it. We don't realize how powerful they are. So my number 1 aphrodisiac is actually chili peppers.
And everybody has them.
And if you have a spice rack, you have a chili pepper in there. So it's either chili flakes or chili peppers. So either way, what they do is they actually boost our happiness hormone, which is endorphin.
Yeah.
So it also is a very instantly working aphrodisiac. So what it does, when we consume chili pepper, first of all, our lips get all tingly and they get all pulsating and they all warm, right? Because it's a little spicy and it's warm. And then our sweat glands produce a little bit of a dewy sweat in our skin, and also our heart rate fastens so tremendously. And what that does, that actually mimics sexual arousal and how we feel when we're sexually aroused.
It signals it, and it's hot. It's hot food, and it creates heat, and it also helps our circulation as well. So when our nether zones need more blood, it certainly helps that.
Absolutely. So I think it's just, you know, it's one of those go-to things if, you know, if you're kind of feeling a little bit off and you know, you got to get yourself in the mood. Chili pepper is the aphrodisiac to go to.
And everybody has it.
Absolutely. So that's my number 1. Number 2, I love dates. Dates have been used for ages in so many different cultures, but what they do, they actually have natural sugars, but they also, one very important function that they do is they're believed to improve the quality and the quantity of sperm. So if you're trying to conceive, if you're trying to have a baby, this is an aphrodisiac to go to because it really is supposed to help with that. And also, again, it has natural sugars, so it, you know, just boosts your energy.
Yeah, it gives you a little rush.
That's right. And you don't really need to consume too many of them to really keep yourself full. So you can go on for an hour or 2.
That sounds great. Viewers, if you have some secrets of your own that you'd like to share, or if you have questions for our guests, read natural ways of enhancing your sexuality, please don't hesitate to call in. What else do you have?
Well, another one which is really, again, easy to find in every grocery store is pomegranates. Pomegranates are
so
filled.
Sensual and
that's right.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
They're like little jewels.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Well, think about lovely shower of pomegranate seeds on the top of your plate, whatever it is that you're making. It just looks so beautiful. It's so tantalizing to your eyes and your
rubies.
Absolutely, your taste palette. It's really lovely, but it also is filled with lots of antioxidant. So it's fantastic. Also, because it helps with the blood flow, it does a great job if there's a little bit of a problem with erectile dysfunction. So instead of popping a popcorn, you just get yourself, you know, just clean up a pomegranate and eat that. And I think
while you're curling up to a sexy hot movie.
That's or sex at 10.
Or sex at 10. Thank you. See, viewers, you hear that? Call us. Things are getting hot in here and saucy in here. So join us, and we'd love to hear about your culinary experiences as well. Or maybe you found a yummy aphrodisiac just sitting around the house that you've had fun with. So what else? What's your next one?
The next one, I love figs. Figs, when you think about figs, right, fresh, ripe figs, It's a symbol of fertility, and it's such a sexy looking fruit. So, but not only that, it's filled with potassium, so it strengthens your muscles. It just you know, gives you an overall you know, kind of good sense of well-being, and it also relieves stress. So if you feel like you're coming home and you're just kind of, you know, wired up and you're not really feeling relaxed, couple of figs might do a great job to relax those muscles.
Just a couple of figs.
Yeah.
Instead of popping a couple of pills, try a couple of figs.
That's right. It's all about natural remedies, really. I think people are becoming so much more aware of how much medicine we, you know, consume and things like that. And we're so much more prone now to going to natural remedies. And I think it's absolutely wonderful.
It's an easier place to start. And then if you need something, you can always get something. But it's so much easier to start there. And lots of people say, I had no idea until I tried it, and it was amazing. You have a couple more for us.
I do. The next one that I love is honey. Honey
so sensual and sweet and sticky. And
think about honey being poured all over your partner's body, and then think about rubbing it in and then playing with it and licking it. But not only that, it actually works very well when it comes to balancing your sexy hormones, which is estrogen and testosterone. So, and again, it has those natural sugars that, you know, give you a nice energy boost. So it's really great for you. But so even if you, let's say, ingest 1 tablespoon a day, I think you're going to see a difference in your energy levels, in everything, and as well in your sex drive. It's really good for you.
Great.
However, there is one thing that needs to be said about honey. It has to be raw honey. You know, you can't really just go to the store and pick up the cheapest honey brand that you can find. It has to be something good that you would probably pick up at the health food store.
If it's going on your body, then you want to make sure it's great. Well, speaking of honey, we have a really amazing little clip. We were going to show it a little bit later, but I think this is a good time to see it. A discussion like this wouldn't be complete without, you know, the sexy scene with Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger when they're playing with food as foreplay. It is so super hot. So not including that would be, dare I say, sinful. So let's take a look at that video clip right now.
Madison, keep your eyes closed, please. Just think as you know. Further, further. Further. Right. I'll put it right on the spot.
Whew, getting hot in here. I'll let you finish your next two aphrodisiacs, and then we're definitely going to come back to food for foreplay. So what are your last two aphrodisiacs?
That scene is amazing. My next aphrodisiac is garlic. It's widely used in Eastern medicine, in Indian medicine. It's absolutely, first of all, it's an antibiotic, so it's good for every single part of our bodies.
Hold on to that thought. We're going to break. We're going to talk a little bit about that and your grand finale on that one. We'll be right back. Keep your calls coming, and let's discuss sex, relationships, romance, or whatever else rocks your boat. And keep it locked on Rogers TV, because we have lots more great stuff still ahead, including your calls. So pick up that phone and call so we can connect.